You might be wasting unnecessary time every single time you plug in your Tesla at a supercharger, and all of that is because you went there with a cold battery. But how much time exactly? We're gonna find out in this video. Behind me, I have two similar Teslas. One of them is the Highland and one of them is the Juniper model. Both of them have the same battery pack, an LFP with a 60 kilowatt hour of usable capacity. Also, both of them have one single motor at the rear, but the difference is that this car right here came with its battery preheated to about 40 degrees Celsius, and this one is only at 10 degrees Celsius. Both cars can only reach up to 175 kilowatts. I hope that the preheated battery is going to be able to pull higher numbers than the cold one and exactly tell us how much time we're going to be saving in today's tests. First, I'm going to run the test on the Model 3 Highland, which has its battery preheated to 40 degrees Celsius. During the first minute of charging, I can see that the station gives to the car 150 kilowatts. However, the car only consumes 143, which means 7 kilowatts still go into the motor, which preheat the battery extra. And even though 150 kilowatts might sound like a lot, it's still far from the 175 promised by Tesla. So go down in the comments and let me know in what situations you are able to pull the maximum advertised charging speed with your car. It's been 9 minutes exactly, and I'm not sure if you hear this, but the battery's cooling system has turned on. That means that the temperature risen so high, so the car is trying to drop it down so it doesn't go any higher, because batteries usually, they don't like low temperatures, but they don't like very high temperatures at the same time. By the way, if you're wondering what's the instrument cluster I'm using in today's test, well, that's the Sexy Dash, a product that we made a few months back, and we are giving it away for free. If you wonder how you can win it, I'm gonna leave a link inside the description of today's video where you can join the giveaway. It's been 15 minutes and the car has gotten up to 60% state of charge, so that's 50% gain in 15 minutes. It's not as fast as some of the new cars that are coming out on the market, like the new Porsche Cayenne or a bunch of the Chinese EVs, but hey, still 15 minutes to 50% state of charge, that's a pretty good number in my opinion. Now, all of you know about the battery preconditioning system of Tesla. It's extremely simple to use. You just go inside the main screen, enter a supercharging navigation, and the car starts preheating the battery. But what happens if you live that close to one that you don't have enough time for the car to do its thing? Well, we have made it so you can do it literally by sitting on your couch and wait for your car to preheat its battery on its own. The way you do it is extremely simple. You install our OBD dongle called the Commander, you open the Sexy app, and you activate the feature called Remote Battery Preheating. What it does, it's exactly what it sounds. It starts remotely preheating your Tesla's battery while you're sitting at home, and you can even choose at what degree the battery should get to, so whenever you start driving, the battery is toast enough. If you want to learn about this feature more, I'm gonna leave a link with a dedicated video about this feature inside the description of this one, so you can go ahead and check it out. And we are done. Nice. So the Highland was able to charge from 13% state of charge to 80% state of charge in 27 minutes and 10 seconds. The battery temperature was risen to over 50 degrees Celsius. Now I see that it dropped to 46 thanks to the battery cooling system. After we are done with the test on the preheated battery, now it's time to plug in the cable inside the Model Y, which has its battery at 10 degrees Celsius, and see what the difference is going to be. The car that doesn't have its battery preheated cannot even pull 50 kilowatts from the station when you first plugged in. It's been over 1 minute already and it's pulling only 47 kilowatts in. That's crazy difference. Guys, the things do not look good for the car that doesn't have its battery being preheated. It's been over 6 minutes now and we're still pulling only 50 kilowatts in it. That's crazy. I see that the battery temperature is rising. In 6 minutes, it got up to 16 degrees Celsius. Remember, we started from 10, but that's such a slow pace. So I believe we're never gonna hit the 100 kilowatt mark with this car, and that's very unfortunate, but that's a lesson for all of us, that we need to preheat the batteries, but let's see the result at the end. Now, why having a cold battery at a supercharger is not a smart idea? Well, the batteries don't like cold. The electrochemical reaction inside the cell is slowed down and the internal resistance of the battery is ramped up because it tries to preserve its stability. And that's why you need to have a higher degree whenever you start charging, otherwise you're just gonna spend time like us today. It's been 16 minutes and this car is finally pulling 100 kilowatts from the station. The battery temperature is at about 32 degrees Celsius. By the way, we publish these kind of videos every single week, so if you enjoy watching them, make sure to subscribe to our channel. 30 minutes later, and the Model Y is pulling 70 kilowatts from the station, and that's 20 kilowatts more compared to the Model 3 at the same state of charge. This means that even though both cars have an LFP battery, the chemistry inside one of them is slightly changed, or there's some optimizations done to it, helping it charge faster at the highest state of charge. And we have the official results. Car A, that has its battery preheated to about 40 degrees Celsius, was able to charge from about 10% state of charge to 80 in 27 minutes. However, Car B, which came to the charging station with battery at 10 degrees Celsius only, was able to charge in 32 minutes. That's a 5-minute difference between both cars. What's the conclusion from all of this? Well, if you want to spend less time at every charging station you go to, make sure to ramp up your Tesla's battery to about 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, and that way you're gonna live there 5 minutes quicker. However, if you don't care about that and you just wanna chill at the charging station and take your time, don't do it. Either way, you're gonna be spending that extra energy to warm up the battery, no matter if you do it before coming to the charging station or after. Because from what you learned today, the battery loves to be hot. But in my personal opinion, I would rather do it in advance rather than staying here, especially in this chilly weather. Are you preheating your own battery whenever you're traveling? Let me know down in the comments, and I'm gonna see you next week with another great video.